I just thought, honestly, it's a lot of taxpayers' money. It's these dates, what difference would it have made, whether they did it or not? Did it affect what was going on in the rest of the country? And then all of a sudden, it would hit me like a ton of bricks, where my mum was poorly recently, and if I couldn't have been there, like thousands of people couldn't be there. My mum's fine now, but, you know, people died. And the idea that you couldn't say goodbye to somebody on May the 18th, on those dates when they were perhaps together in a way to say thank you, or somebody's, or the Prime Minister's birthday, where it was can't have that. You can say happy birthday later. You can say thank you to staff later. You can't say goodbye ever again. And it did make me made me very emotional thinking about it. But I think, as you say, you've been through so much, Kate. There this morning. Here, new government plans could force separating couples to try mediation first to sort out their... Finally, from me, a search is underway to find relatives of one of the RAF's last black Second World War veterans who died alone in his flat in London. What a gorgeous story that is. I think, though, thinking a lot of people will turn out for his funeral next week. Everybody.
Let's hope so. Bandit, thank you.
Going on this morning, well, it's a big one. The Bank of England is expected to raise interest rates for an 11th time in less than 18 months after yesterday's surprise jump in inflation. Now, that was due to that shortage of vegetables you'll know about. That's made food more expensive. Any interest rate increase would be part of a series of measures to reduce that inflation and essentially encourage us to spend less. But, of course, it would inevitably increase pressure on many mortgage holders who are already squeezed by the cost of living crisis. Now, the RMT union has suspended rail strikes due to be held next week. The move follows further discussions between the union and the rail delivery group in that long-running dispute over pay and jobs and conditions. It has already resolved its row with Network Rail in a similar dispute. Let's join Nick Dick. Matters across the Channel. Emmanuel Macron has further angered unions and opposition parties after the French president insisted that he will press on with plans to raise the retirement age. He's rejecting calls for a U-turn in response to growing public anger. Unions say a 9th nationwide day of protests and strikes planned for later today will draw huge crowds to demonstrate against what they are describing as Macron's scorn and lies. Well, let's be... The multi-billion-pound takeover battle for Manchester United has been extended by 2 days. The two frontrunners bidding for the club, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim, are reported to be preparing new improved bids now due by Friday. Our correspondent weeks ago, you were on a train talking about rail prices increasing for those who have those, you know, sort of annual passes and so on. But today is hopefully some good news. Charles is due to visit, isn't he, in, I think, next week. I mean, what kind of welcome might he receive if there are, I mean, rubbish set aside, but protests too? Night, wasn't it? What's going on? Paul's been, you know, really welcomed. Paul's been, you know, really welcomed by everybody.
Let's hope so. Bandit, thank you.
We're going to have a look at the weather now with Laura. And it's Happy World Met Day.
Yeah!
What does that mean?